Hello everyone. Today we are starting the next chapter of macroeconomics class 12, that is income determination and multiplier. It's a very small chapter, very few concepts. We are going to learn about determination of equilibrium level, how it is determined, then what is equilibrium level, how it is restored, the concept of investment multiplier, and there are certain solved practical problems. But in this session, we'll be just concentrating on determination of equilibrium level. According to Keynesian theory, equilibrium condition is generally stated in terms of aggregate demand and aggregate supply. An economy is in equilibrium when aggregate demand for goods and services is equal to aggregate supply during a period of time. So equilibrium is achieved when aggregate demand is equal to aggregate supply. Now let us understand that what is aggregate demand and what is aggregate supply. Though we had already done these concepts in the last chapter when we discussed components of aggregate demand. Aggregate demand is the sum total of consumption and investment. That is, aggregate demand is C plus I. This is our equation 2. Aggregate supply is the sum total of consumption and saving. That is, whatever income. See, aggregate supply is nothing but our total income, national income. So whatever income is being generated, it is either consumed or saved. That is why we say that aggregate supply is C plus S, that is consumption plus savings. So we have got three equations. Aggregate demand is equal to aggregate supply. It's a condition for equilibrium, where aggregate demand is consumption plus investment and aggregate supply is consumption plus savings. So substituting the value of aggregate demand and aggregate supply in equation 1, we are going to get, since aggregate demand is C plus I, so C plus I is equal to aggregate supply is C plus S. So C plus I is equal to C plus S. Or when we are going to cancel out this C from both the sides, it will be S plus I, that is savings is equal to investments. It means, according to Keynes, there are two approaches for determining the equilibrium level of income and employment in the economy. And in the next slide, we'll be discussing those two approaches, that is aggregate demand and aggregate supply approach and savings and investment approach. So the two approaches for determination of equilibrium level is aggregate demand and aggregate supply approach and savings and investment approach. And see, it must be kept in mind that aggregate demand, aggregate supply, savings and investment, whenever we are talking about these concepts, we are talking about planned, that is ex ante savings and ex ante investments. That is, we are talking about ex ante variables. Now, there are certain assumptions which we have to kept in mind while determining the equilibrium level of output. First is, the determination of equilibrium output is to be studied in the context of two sector model. देखिए, हमने पढ़ा था एग्रीगेट डिमांड इज अ सम टोटल ऑफ सी प्लस आई प्लस जी प्लस नेट एक्सपोर्ट्स, लेकिन हमारे सिलेबस में बेटा सिर्फ टू सेक्टर मॉडल ही है जिसके अंदर हाउस होल्ड और फर्म्स हैं, प्रोड्यूसिंग फर्म्स. सो दैट इज वाई एग्रीगेट डिमांड, अभी हमने लास्ट स्लाइड में भी देखा, एग्रीगेट डिमांड वाज इक्वल टू योर कंजम्पशन प्लस इन्वेस्टमेंट सी प्लस आई. इट मींस it is assumed that there is no government and foreign sector. So this is our first assumption that we are going to have a two sector model. Second assumption is that investment expenditure is autonomous. Autonomous का मतलब होता है बेटा independent of level of interest rate in the economy or independent of our level of income. That is, investments are not influenced by the level of income. Investments are independent of interest rate and the level of income in the economy. That is the second assumption. Third assumption is that price level is assumed to remain constant, no changes in the price level. And the last assumption is that equilibrium output is to be determined in the context of short run. See, we are having short run period in our syllabus, long run period is out of the scope of the syllabus. So we are going to determine the equilibrium level of output in the context of short run. So these were the four assumptions to be kept in mind. So let's start with aggregate demand and aggregate supply approach. According to Keynesian theory, the equilibrium level of income in an economy is determined when aggregate demand, represented by C plus I curve, is equal to the total output, that is aggregate supply. Aggregate demand comprises of two components because we are talking about in a two sector model, that is consumption expenditure by the household. और consumption expenditure का curve हमने देखा था, it was upward sloping from left to right and it varies directly with the level of income. मतलब जब level of income increase होती है तो हमारी consumption भी increase होती है, and we have learnt about the consumption function, consumption curve in the last chapter also. Then investment expenditure, it is assumed to be independent of the level of income. अभी हमने बोला हम ये assume कर रहे हैं कि we are going to talk about autonomous investment which is independent of the level of income and your interest rate. So आपकी investment जो है that is autonomous, that is independent of your level of income. So aggregate demand curve is represented by C plus I curve in the income determination analysis. And aggregate supply is the total output of goods and services. अभी हमने बोला कि जो भी income है, either it is consumed or it is saved. So that is why the aggregate supply curve is represented by C plus S curve, and it is depicted by a 45-degree line. The aggregate supply curve is depicted by 45-degree line, क्योंकि हम ये मान के चलते हैं कि सारी की सारी इनकम या तो कंज्यूम हो गई या सेव हो जाएगी. So equilibrium by aggregate demand and aggregate supply approach. See, this is the schedule. The first column is showing employment, second income, third consumption, then savings, then investments. Now see, income is either consumed or saved. So at zero level of income, consumption is 40. So savings are minus 40. Then when employment increased from 0 to 10 lakh, then income is increased from 0 to 100 rupees crores. Out of this 100 rupees, this income, 100 rupees crores, 100 crores of rupees, the consumption is 120. देखो इनकम 100 है, कंजम्पशन अगर 120 है, दैट मींस देयर इज डिस सेविंग्स ऑफ 20. Then when employment or the level of output increased to 20, income is increased to 200 rupees crores. Consumption out of this 200 is 200. That means whatever income is being generated, all is consumed, so there is zero savings. Fine. Likewise, if we proceed further, आप देखिए employment 10 लाख से increase हो रही है, income 100 crores से at every level of employment increase हो रही है, consumption is increasing by rupees 80 crores, and likewise अगर मुझे savings निकालनी है तो इनकम में से कंजम्पशन को अगर मैं सब्ट्रैक्ट कर देती हूँ तो आई एम गोइंग टू गेट द फिगर ऑफ सेविंग्स. अब आप यहाँ पे देख लीजिए 300 लेवल, 300 minus 280 is 20, 400 income minus 360 consumption, 40 is the saving, 500 income, 440 is the consumption, 60 is the saving. So saving is increasing by 40 crores of rupees. Investment हमने बोला autonomous investment होगी, which is 40 at every level of income, because these investments are independent of the level of income. So it's constant 40 at each level of income. So aggregate demand is a sum total of C plus I. So consumption is 40, investment is 40, aggregate demand is 80, consumption is 120, investment is 40, 120 plus 40, aggregate demand is 160. Then again, consumption is 200 at the next level of income, and investment is 40. So aggregate demand is 240. Likewise, we are going to get this aggregate demand schedule. And then aggregate supply is consumption plus saving, and consumption plus saving is nothing. You are going to get the same figure as Y column. So because if you are going to add consumption and saving, that is your total income. So 0, 100, 200, 300, 400. Now, if we compare these two columns, aggregate demand and aggregate supply, you will find that initially at 0 level of employment up till 30 lakh level of employment, you will see that aggregate demand is greater than the aggregate supply. Demand ज़्यादा है लेकिन supply उतनी नहीं है. See, 80 is greater than 0, 160 is greater than 100, 240 is greater than 200, 320 is greater than 300. So aggregate demand is greater than aggregate supply. But aggregate demand is equal to aggregate supply at 400. Fine, when aggregate demand is 400, aggregate supply is also 400 at the output level or income level 40. Fine. Then this is the level of equilibrium where aggregate demand is equal to aggregate supply, and afterwards your aggregate supply is greater than the aggregate demand. And if you recall, in our last class when we discussed, we said that this level of employment is actually denoting the level of output, and level of output is representing the level of income. So if I'm going to depict this schedule in the form of a diagram, on x-axis I'm going to show income or output or employment, and on y-axis I'm going to show aggregate demand. Aggregate supply curve, we know, since income is either consumed or saved, so it is going to be a 45-degree line, so it is aggregate supply curve. And aggregate demand, we know there is autonomous consumption, OM is 40 units, this is the autonomous level of consumption. So this aggregate demand curve is intersecting aggregate supply curve at point E, and E is the point of equilibrium where both aggregate demand and aggregate supply is equal, and this level of income is, or level of output or level of employment is 40 lakhs. This is the same schedule. Equilibrium level of income is rupees 400 crore, where aggregate demand is equal to aggregate supply 400 crore. It is a situation of effective demand. बेटा इस situation को जहाँ पे aggregate demand और aggregate supply equal हो जाते हैं, इस situation को हम effective demand कहते हैं. अब 1 mark question आ सकता है कि effective demand होता क्या है. Effective demand refers to that level of aggregate demand which becomes effective because it is equal to aggregate supply. मतलब एग्रीगेट डिमांड इफेक्टिव इसलिए है क्योंकि हम उतना ही प्रोड्यूस कर रहे हैं या उतना ही डिमांड कर रहे हैं जितनी की प्रोडक्शन हो रही है, या हम उतना ही प्रोड्यूस कर रहे हैं जितनी की डिमांड है. दैट इज व्हाई दिस टर्म इज नोन एज इफेक्टिव डिमांड. If there is any deviation from the equilibrium level of output, that is when planned spending, that is aggregate demand, is not equal to planned output, that is aggregate supply, then the process of readjustment will start in the economy and output will tend to adjust up or down until aggregate demand and aggregate supply are equal again. Now in this figure, the aggregate demand, that is C plus I curve, shows the desired level of expenditure by consumers and firms corresponding to each level of income. आप देखिए, corresponding to different level of income, output or employment, it is the aggregate demand curve is being showing different levels of desired expenditure by the consumer and firms at different levels of income. So the economy is in equilibrium at point E, where C plus I curve intersects the 45-degree line, which is aggregate supply. So E is the equilibrium point because at this point, the level of desired spending on consumption and investment is exactly equal to the level of total output. यानी कि जितना आउटपुट इकोनॉमी में जनरेट हो रहा है ना, उतने बराबर ही इकोनॉमी में एग्रीगेट डिमांड है. यानी कि कोई एक्सेस डिमांड नहीं है, ना ही कोई डेफिशिएंट डिमांड है. ठीक है, उतनी ही डिमांड है जितनी इकोनॉमी में प्रोडक्शन हो रही है, जितनी इनकम जनरेट हो रही है, जितना एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेट हो रही है. सो दैट इज व्हाई दिस पॉइंट ई is said to be an equilibrium level of output, and OY is the equilibrium level of output. This OY is the equilibrium level of output corresponding to this point of equilibrium E. Now, when aggregate demand is more than aggregate supply, see what happens. When planned spending aggregate demand is more than planned output, that is aggregate supply, then C plus I curve lies above 45-degree line. Fine. If we go back here, you see that here before this income level OY, आप देखिए एग्रीगेट डिमांड कर्व इज लाइंग अबव द एग्रीगेट सप्लाई कर्व. एग्रीगेट डिमांड ज्यादा है, एग्रीगेट सप्लाई कम है. सो एग्रीगेट डिमांड जब ज्यादा होगी, yes, then let's see what are we going to do. It means that consumer and firms together would be buying more goods than firms are willing to produce, है ना. यानी कि कंज्यूमर और फर्म्स ज्यादा गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज बाय करना चाहते हैं, लेकिन firms are not willing to produce. As a result, the planned inventory would fall below the desired level. To bring the inventory back to the desired level, firm would resort to increase in employment and output until the economy is back to output level OY, where aggregate demand becomes equal to aggregate supply and there is no further tendency to change. When aggregate demand is less than the aggregate supply, so what will happen? That the consumer and firms together would be buying less goods than the firm are willing to produce. यानी कि aggregate demand कम है, और अगर बेटा aggregate demand कम होगी तो जो goods हैं वो मेरे warehouse में they will be lying idle. वो idle पड़े रहेंगे. As a result, planned inventory would rise और मेरा इन्वेंट्री पाइल अप होती रहेगी. अब टू क्लियर द अनवांटेड इंक्रीज द इन्वेंट्री, फर्म्स प्लान टू डिक्रीज द एम्प्लॉयमेंट एंड आउटपुट. फर्म क्या प्लान करेंगे कि ठीक है, हम एम्प्लॉयमेंट और आउटपुट को डिक्रीज करते हैं और प्रोडक्शन नहीं करेंगे. कब तक? अच्छा, जब वो प्रोडक्शन नहीं करेंगे, फाइन, सो डेफिनेटली द इनकम लेवल विल रिड्यूस, क्योंकि अगर प्रोडक्शन नहीं होगी तो इनकम जनरेट नहीं होगी, इनकम जनरेट नहीं होगी तो डेफिनेटली इट विल रिड्यूस. और कब तक रिड्यूस होती रहेगी? अंटिल द इकोनॉमी इज बैक एट आउटपुट लेवल ओवाई, वेयर एग्रीगेट डिमांड बिकम्स इक्वल टू एग्रीगेट सप्लाई एंड देयर इज नो फर्दर टेंडेंसी टू चेंज. फाइन. अब आप यहाँ पे देख लीजिए, यहाँ पर जब हमने बात किया कि एग्रीगेट डिमांड, इसी कर्व में एग्रीगेट डिमांड एग्रीगेट सप्लाई से ज्यादा है. ठीक है, अगर एग्रीगेट डिमांड ज्यादा है, सप्लाई कम है, तो प्रोड्यूसर क्या करेगा? प्रोड्यूसर ज्यादा एम्प्लॉयमेंट करेगा. और जब ज्यादा, सपोज मैं इस लेवल पर हूं, यहाँ पर, ठीक है, लेस देन ओवाई लेवल, तो जब प्रोड्यूसर ज्यादा एम्प्लॉयमेंट करेगा, ज्यादा आउटपुट जनरेट होगा, ज्यादा इनकम जनरेट होगी, तो डेफिनेटली एग्रीगेट सप्लाई कर्व विल अगेन मूव अहेड एंड मीट एट दिस पॉइंट ई, इक्विलिब्रियम इज रीस्टोर्ड. लेकिन अगर मैं यहां पर हूं एट एन इनकम लेवल बियॉन्ड ओवाई लेवल, जहां पर एग्रीगेट सप्लाई ज्यादा है और डिमांड कम है, मैं suppose if I'm over here beyond this point E at the aggregate supply curve, तो सप्लाई ज्यादा है, डिमांड कर्व है, अनवांटेड इन्वेंट्री है. अब अगर अनवांटेड इन्वेंट्री है तो प्रोड्यूसर क्या करेगा, प्रोडक्शन को कम कर देगा, प्रोडक्शन कम करेगा तो एम्प्लॉयमेंट फॉल होगी, इनकम कम जनरेट होगी, एंड देन इवेंचुअली वी विल कम डाउन अगेन back to this point E, which is an equilibrium level of output. So it must be noted that equilibrium level may or may not be at level of full employment. That is, equilibrium is possible even at a level lower than the full employment level. For instance, see, when we looked at the first table, first schedule, that is 8.1, employment level is 40 lakh. ठीक है, एम्प्लॉयमेंट जो है वो 40 लाख है, कॉरस्पॉन्डिंग टू द इक्विलिब्रियम इनकम ऑफ 400 lakhs. So it is not full employment level, since employment increases even after the equilibrium level. If you go back to that schedule, आप देखिएगा कि employment, see यहाँ पर OY जो employment level है, that is 40 lakh. Fine. अब ये this is not a full employment level. Reason being that we can increase, there is a scope that we can increase the employment level. So that is why it is said that it's not full employment level, since employment increases even after the equilibrium level. So today we had discussed the aggregate demand and aggregate supply approach, that how equilibrium is restored in the economy when aggregate demand is less and greater than the aggregate supply. In the next class, we will be doing savings and investment approach to calculate the equilibrium level of output. That's all for today from my side. Hope all of you have understood what we have discussed today. But still, if you have any query, you can drop your query on our WhatsApp number, which is given on the slide. Thank you all. Thank you very much.